there is a very big news that is coming in. There is there is a kind of one very top class politician, and she was chief minister of Uttar Pradesh for full 5 year tenure. Okay, Miss Mayawati. So she is kind of she somehow she is in news now. And there was a by-election for 9 seats. It happened in Uttar Pradesh, and she lost all of them. So 6-3, I believe BJP and Samajwadi Party they distributed the seat, and BJP won Samajwadi left seats also by election. Now, scenario in the by-election, in any election, if you see any election, the scenario of by-election, like by-election happened in Bihar also, and all 4 seats were won by the ruling party. Uttar Pradesh, maximum seat won by the ruling party. Generally, why by-election goes in favor of the ruling party. Now, Ms. Mayawati is putting question mark now on EVM, electronic voting machine, that EVMs are pre-stuffed. The vote in the EVM, they are at the beginning only they are voted. Whatever people are voting, that is in summation of it or discarded, whatever. It is rigging kind of thing she is saying. And it happens through the election officers. Election officers who are into the election area, they do the rig or they press the button on their own, whatever it is. Since since the effect of the ruling government is on the election commission at that moment, state election commission, whatever. So this kind of malfunctioning is happening. Means deliberate malfunctioning is happening. This is what her allegation is. If it happens a general election, then no one. Means she actually Mayawati is a teacher by profession, and she puts her point very clearly. Means she is one of the rare of the rarest politician I have seen personally who talks very clearly. I don't know. She would have been a good mathematics teacher or good scientist. This is what I believe personally. Whatever she talks, she will give proper reasoning of that. Means because of this happened, that happened. You cannot do any negative mark in that. Means this is not my status to say any negativity out here, but she talks very clearly. This is always I have seen, always she would give proper reasoning why she is talking each and every step. This is very different from any other politician. Means she looks like some very high class science professor. It's amazing. This is generally not found in any politician. Now she is talking that since when it is by election and the electoral officers who are in election, they are completely under control of the current government. And in that sense, it is high chance that there will be forced malfunctioning. The people would go to officers only, they will vote on their own, whatever the forced malfunctioning can happen. But in general election, these officers know that government may change. In that sense, if it deliberately, if they come under the pressure of the current government who may get toppled, in that situation, generally they don't do the malfunction. Very clear cut. This is exactly means this is very good explanation of this problem. Means it is highly possible that officer who is going in general election, not the by-election, if he go with the malfunctioning under the guidance of pressure of the current government and government topples, then what will be his condition? He may lose the job or he will be transferred. His condition will be very poor. Certainly, he will avoid doing that. But in by election, he knows that whatever the result is, the chief minister is not going to change. Now, Mayawati has clearly said, clear, honorable Mayawati. I'm not saying honorable because she was chief minister or something like that. Because the way she has put the point, very nice, honorable Mayawati, Miss Mayawati. Now, she is saying that we are going to refrain from the by-election. Till this voting EVM is there, till EVM is there where the malfunctioning is happening and no one can trace it. It's not, after all, it is not a ballot paper, right? If malfunctioning is happening in ballot paper, at least someone can see the ballot paper. These are the ballot paper after the vote. Anyone can trace it that if ballot paper is original or not, or someone has pushed the ballot paper from outside, it would not match the paper of the original ballot paper, certainly. Someone has pushed from outside. Color may match, but it will not be. And then voting stamp and how it is placed in hurry pari, someone can track it. But in EVM, no one can track. Not possible. Only number comes. So there is a high chance of ballot stuffing. This is typically called, that can happen. And she is not going to contest any by-election now from now onward, because it doesn't make any sense. She is perfectly all right. I don't know she is really getting vote or not. That is her issue and her voters' issue. But the point she has brought in, actually, it is very much true technically also. In EVM, if ballot stuffing is happening, someone is casting vote in the EVM. Afterwards, if any kind of jurisdiction is sitting or any kind of probe is happening, no one can say that there was malfunction. In ballot paper, someone can trace out. Okay, he can use software to scan the images of the original ballot and this ballot, the way voting happened, and so many things he can try out with software, and he can say this is looks like 10%, 20%, 30% chance that this is a rigging. But in EVM, you cannot say it all. Only it will say number one, this much vote, number two, this much vote, number three, this much vote. That's it. So she is perfectly all right in her logic. And BSP, Bahujan Samajwadi Party, which represent mainly the kind of socially discarded people, means she is doing very good job actually. In that way, there is no way they should continue. So Bahujan Samaj Party openly it made an announcement that they are discontinuing from the by-election. Now, question is arising that why EVM machines are there. When she is putting question mark on by-election, okay, someone would come again and he would put question mark on the general election also. Because EVM is coming, and this happened post Maharashtra election. Now, post Maharashtra election, all the Congress and LI openly on the press conference they are saying that EVMs were stuffed. EVMs were stuffed with the pre-ballot or whatever. We are not going to obey this decision because this election result is completely forgery. Not possible that the alliance which fought this powerfully would get less than 50 seats. Impossible in 288. Impossible. We may lose, but not like this. So there was a stuffing in the EVM. They are saying, but they are not saying we will not fight general election. Probably tomorrow they may come and say we will not fight general election. Now question is arising, when everyone is crying foul on EVM, then why EVM was brought? Why EVM was brought in? EVM was brought in more maximum in a maximum strength, full strength in 2004 general election, assembly election, central assembly election, parliamentary election, 2004, where EVM was brought in, and three reason was given as far as EVM is concerned. Why EVM was brought in? The first reason was given that there is many places there is booth looting. The people, like especially in Naxalite cases, and the pointer was mainly in the Bihar. And at that time, the ruling person who was ruling Bihar was Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav. Okay, and there was high question. It was under a question mark on his because if parliamentary election happens, the chief minister is not going to change. So certainly he had some kind of means when he is not going to change, he is there. So he can trigger some change in the election scenario. So it was said that the Bihar chief minister, he pushes some kind of muscle power, means people they go with the rifle, okay, in the where polling is happen, and they go with the rifle and they kind of threaten the presiding officer and magistrate at the gunpoint, and they cast all the vote and then they run away. Okay, this is what, since vote goes inside the ballot box, these people cannot do anything. But personally, also they cannot do anything, because if they write to the election commission that rigging happened, people came with rifle and those kind of things, he may die next day. So he keep quiet. So this is how people are winning. That was a big speculation, because Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav was continuing for 15 years, not for 5 years, 15 years. So that one scenario, because whenever some problem happen, it points to Bihar only generally. So now election commission said that now it is difficult that this kind of malfunctioning would happen. Ballot stuffing means someone is bringing ballot from outside also, and he's pushing inside the ballot box, and this kind of forcefully happening, because there is some software way voting is cast. Some machine has to allow, then only, means there is some electronic system. So probably these robbers, they would not know. So it is pretty safe. This is the one reason they gave. Second reason they gave is that the ballot box cannot be exchanged. Ballot box, when it is called, then ballot box is en route to the strong room. In between also there is a chance that someone would change the ballot box. Third case is in the strong room itself, the powerful people will go, and at the gunpoint they would replace the ballot ballot box. All these are not, because EVM machine they don't know how to manufacture. It is purely electronic machine. Typically it comes from Japan. So how these robbers would make electronic machine? So all rigging is not possible. Now these chief minister they cannot do anything. So it is pretty safe. This is what they said. Okay, even though kind of rigging is happening and nobody is complaining, because they are coming on gunpoint. Everyone has safe life, even though they lose the job, but they won't disclose. So it is pretty safe. So nowhere ballot stuffing can happen. Not possible. It is completely secure now. Second reason they gave is that counting, it used to take 2 days, 3 days time, 72 hours continuous counting. Now result come in 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour, maximum 12 hour, maximum 24 hours. But 90% of the seat result comes within 8 hours only, daytime only. This is much faster, easy to count. Third reason they gave is it saves lot of paper. Cutting tree is not required. So everywhere it is very good. So EVM is now inevitable. It is required. This is what Election Commission gave the reason. Okay. Now, but EVM slowly it started replacing the ballot box. Now many problems started happening in the EVM. EVM, the biggest problem EVM, the people started seeing that they cast the vote, but they don't know where it went, because inside software there can be malfunctioning. This is what people started talking about. There can be malfunctioning in the EVM machine only. Ballot paper people stamp and they see that here I have stamped. Same stamped paper go for the counting. But in EVM, someone press the key. What is guarantee that vote went there? Inside there can be some change, or wire can be interchanged. Who knows? To rectify it, they brought VVP. That's why I say in mathematics also, if go in wrong direction, going in EVM is a wrong direction. Going in wrong direction, it will take you many diversions. Things will become complex day by day. Now, to solve that, they brought a VVPAT machine. The VVPAT machine is kept near to the EVM machine, and there will be a paper. And if someone presses it, that paper on paper print would come, and he can see that whom he has voted. Then paper would go inside. So this way he can verify it. It has come recently, I believe, past 10 years it has come, or less than that. This is VVPAT machine. If you go in complex, complexity will keep growing. This is the one thing that election commission did. What is the other problem? And I think it is too long, so we will cover it in another session. That what is the problem with the EVM machine, and how it is going worldwide, and how it can be solved. So that we will talk.